Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident Tinkerer and Medarotter, and this is the Medarots News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. And I must first also apologize for not using my usual Live 2D or Chibi models this week around. Been having some trouble with VTube Studio trying to get that back up and running, and just couldn't have it ready in time for my usual recordings. But everything should be good to go in the weeks going forward from here. That being said, for this week, however, it looks like we're certainly picking up right where we left off and not losing any momentum at all, concluding the second collaboration in a row, actually, with the final week of, or rather final days of the Gridman Universe collab coming to a close, and picking up right where we left off with a couple new faces, one of them actually an older face, and another one we've actually seen already, and a third one that is yet another returnee from the days of old. So we were loaded with a lot of new bots this week between Gacha and Event Reward. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was announced for this week's episode, of course starting with the Gacha banners that were highlighted and already made aware of. First of which is GNB 0 Basalt, based off of Genbu the Black Tortoise, who also comes from the same series as Tundle, another model that we actually will be seeing this week as well. And he will be debuting and re-debuting, actually, because he is a returnee from Medarot 3, with a kit of Destroy, Double Guard 500, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Hoplite. Now, Basalt is also fully capable of transforming into a more defensive shell-based form, and in this form, he trades his kit just ever so slightly for Sword, Double Guard 500, Tank Legs, and the leg ability of Super Armor. So this one's going to be another really useful shielder type that you're going to be seeing a lot in competitive PvP, and especially in a lot of super invasions that require a lot of really heavy defense. So I'm expecting a lot of very great use from him going forward. The second model that was introduced is BHM01 Tafo Behemoth, which is an upgrade to Chibi Behemoth, the original and iconic Behemoth type also from the early games, with a kit of Buff Trap, Meteor, Wide Break, Tank Legs, and the leg ability of Haja. Now, much like Mizrash Levia and Desai Centaurus, who we're also seeing this week in addition, this one is actually a direct upgrade as well, following the same series Tagger has been working on up to this point. And then, last but not least, MTS0 Hypocrite, the Mantis type that everyone knows and loves from the days of the anime. This one was kind of dropped on us suddenly out of nowhere on as of yesterday at time of recording, and with a very basic kit too, but it is also worth noting that Hypocrite, with his kit of Slash, Double Sword, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of Rush, is made as a Spotlight model, which means that he will be permanently available in the Gacha banners at any time from this week forward, now that he's officially been introduced into the game. In addition to these three new bots that we were introduced, we also have some popular reruns of older models that we will be seeing as well. First of which is BYC0 Thunder, with a kit of Slip, Double Wave, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Captor, who also can transform into a multi-ped form with a kit of Freeze, Stat Cleanse, Slash, and the Blowbeat leg ability. Next, we also have a very, very popular favorite, the Giant Stag Beetle type Tyrell Beetle, with a kit of Desperate, Double Beam Sword, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Fortress, who also is capable of transforming into a wheel-based form with a kit of Laser, Break, Napalm, and the leg ability of Adapter for ultimate maneuverability on any terrain he's on. Now, just between these two alone, it's going to be very apparent we're having a very gacha-heavy week, but they're all going to be very powerful skills to be had, whether you are a newbie just starting the game out or a seasoned vet still looking to fill in your parts library. Now, as mentioned, we are seeing CTR01 Desai Centaurus as well, with the kits of Deathlock, Effect Clear, Tide Blow, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of Dead or Alive. And then last but not least, LWT01 Mizrash Levia, with a kit of Perfect Guard, Double Hyper Freeze, Sea Legs, and the leg ability of Elusive. So it already makes it very clear right from start, we are seeing a very large amount of models, as I mentioned, a lot of gacha-heavy models this week in addition. But that is primarily because we are getting a particularly new event to celebrate the release and debut of Basalt and Tafo Behemoth. That being said, though, with the fierce battles going on this week, it is going to be just a little bit lower key, thankfully, with starting up the line with HPP0 Hip Hop Pajamas, with the kits of Stealth, Double Break Hammer, tank legs and the leg ability of Trap Buster. Behind him, we have BBS-0 Bastroyer with a kit of Triple Destroy, shooting variant, C legs and the leg ability of Adapter. And then, last but not least, MIP-0 May Puppy with a kit of Trap Clear, Stat Cleanse, Effect Clear, Biped legs, and the leg ability of Absond. Now, in contrast to the gacha models this week, which are going to be incredibly powerful, but also very resource-heavy, unfortunately, the Fierce Battles do offer just a little bit of respite there, primarily geared towards the newcomers that are just starting the game or need to fill out the parts library. Hip-Hop Pajamas, for instance, is a very free and easy access to Break Hammer, which is fantastic for any team that's on for Heavy Punish. Bastroyer, and marked as MVP of the week for Destroy on any part, non-heavy no less, and C legs with the Adapter means he can be put just about anywhere with pretty good performance overall. And then May Puppy, of course, not just for controlling ailments on her side of the team with Stat Cleanse, but also making sure that she can control the enemy team with Effect Clear to make sure that they're not allowed to use positive buffs at all. Now, we were also given yet another piece of news kind of early as well with the release of yesterday, and that is the introduction of the SR version of Medarot Kokuen of the Heavenly Kings, alongside Hakuma of the White Tiger and Mizuchi of the Blue Dragon. This time around, though, Kokuen, as his special skill, will reduce incoming damage by 10%, and if you are using tank-based legs, he will also buff your resist stats by 50%, make you even tankier across the board and harder to take down while that skill is active. In addition, we are also seeing him paired off with Hakuma of the White Tiger for a rerun, but these two also will be part of the, if not already, part of the permanent Medarot banner. So don't feel super led to pull for either of these unless you absolutely need to or want to, because there really is no particular rush for either of them. Now, with everything else out of the way, all of these models is making way specifically for a very special event that is incoming, and again, kind of picking up where we left off with no room to relax or have time to respite, because we are going from one event right into the other. This time around, though, this event may be just a little bit easier to appoint, may or may not be, but also because of the rewards it offers you. It does give us limited time offers and rewards such as the R-rank versions of Medarot's Kokuen and Hakuma for anyone that has not pulled or collected either of them yet. This will be mostly for the newcomers that have just recently started the game and kind of missing Medaroters. This is going to be a big ticket item for you. We also have access to the Earth Medal as a new limited time reward we can obtain, with Mastery in Melee, Support, and Defense, and Leg Masteries in Biped, Multi, and Tank. And it was also brought to my attention that the Earth Medal will be the second medal currently available that will change terrain to mountain terrain upon with Metaforce 2, alongside another earlier model that was also an event reward, the Pastry or Cake Medal, as you call it, that also had this Metaforce and debuted it. And then last but not least, yet another blast from the past and a returnee from the olden days, HDG-0 Sonic Tank, the Hedgehog type, with a kit of Triple Napalm, tank legs, and the leg ability of Bullet Rain. So despite the glow up with the fantastic art and new model, it's always nice to see that he certainly has not changed a bit with his kit as well. So anyone that has played him in the older games can pretty much start using him right from square one once you do collect him, and expect pretty much the same performance as it was in the early days. Now, with this event, however, they are kind of changing the rules a little bit, and I think they might be testing something out, primarily given the theme of the Sacred Beast, or Mythic Beast, essentially in this case, to kind of honor and celebrate the release of them, especially with the collaboration of Mr. Tagro, who is actually in charge of the art for these designs. This time around, though, this event, although milestone-based, will be played two different ways and offer two different kinds of dungeon types. There's normal rounds, which you will participate just as you did any other dungeon or level in the past, and then there will also be boss fights. A boss fight will occur at random when challenging the event, and they will also vary in difficulty depending on who you are fighting and what difficulty the game sets you at. If you are not fighting in a boss fight, you will be a normal round, and every normal round that passes without a boss fight will contribute to a timer, which means the more normal fights there are, the more likely it is a boss fight will pop up out of nowhere until it's guaranteed, depending on your luck, of course. It is still milestone based though, as mentioned, so pure sets will be encouraged because they will tally up your point total in overall instead of as individual parts with ticket. That being said, Thunder, Tyrell Beetle, and Sonic Tank will be giving you a 10% bonus per part equipped for that milestone bonus. Cross Messiah at an 8% bonus, and the Fierce Battles at 6% bonus. The Medarots mentioned listed below also will be the bonuses for the normal rounds, as you see here, with SR Arase and Hisaki giving you the 15% bonus each, and the normal or rare ranks giving you a 7 or 5% bonus respectively, and of course the normal ranks of Kokuen, Hakuma, and Mizuchi giving you a 12% bonus each. With the boss fights, however, that's where they change things up a little bit. Tapo Behemoth and Basalt will give you that 15% max bonus per part equipped. Desai Centaurus and Mizrash Levia at a 10% bonus each. And of course the SR and R ranked versions of Kokuen, Hakuma, and Mizuchi giving you the 20, 15, or 12% bonuses respectively. Now again, I'm not 100% sure how this is going to behave in terms of points acquisition, if they're going to be two separate rounds or just one thing you can kind of blaze through like with other events, so only time will tell once the event does officially drop in a couple days. But thankfully, it does look like a good chunk of these models are bots that we've actually collected already or have had for a fair chunk of time, so it is still kind of up for debate to see whether this event will be very easy to attempt or rather difficult given the new rule and change up with how it behaves. Lastly, the other big piece of news is we are finally, at long last, getting another chapter in the story mode to kind of wrap up or at least come to a close with the current arc of the story. So we certainly have not had a chunk of story to be given to us for a while, so we are definitely looking forward to see the continuation of that, and for fellow veteran Medarotters like myself who have been playing for a while, the Ruby Farm will finally be back up and running and ready to go to restock on some precious materials that we've used quite a few of just through these last couple months alone, with the Rockman and the Gridman universe collabs back to back no less, so I am very much so looking forward to this as well. On the community front, we are still always looking for translators to assist us with any of our projects. Currently on the book, we have Medarot 3 and Medarot 4 for the Game Boy Color. Medarot 3 is currently a little over 60% translated, but we still do need translators to help us with the walls of text. Medarot 4 is still undergoing decompilation to figure out what we need to do and just how to do it. So if you are knowledgeable in coding or cleaning or Japanese and have some time on your hands, feel free to give us a buzz, stop at our Discord or say hello, and we can get you in touch with the right people to fill you in. This also applies to the Medarot Reloaded manga, which all chapters have been collected and compiled for. We just need cleaners and translators to assist us with getting these made public. So again, if you would like to assist with these projects, reach out to me, join our Discord, or just ask. We can get you in touch with the right people to fill you in. On the fan art front here on the MNN Weekly Art Highlights, I do have to highlight this piece here by my buddy Mono Zero, and I do highlight him a pretty fair amount of times, primarily because he always likes to keep up to date with the anime that is ongoing and airing on the official channel, and this time highlighting the debut of Hypocrite in his special episode that a lot of people may know as the day in the episode that made Koji snap with his inherent fear of bugs. Being completely honest, and as a personal opinion, I actually did like Hypocrite's design, and I am really happy to see him back. Will I pull for him? Probably not, since he is a spotlight model, but if he decides to spook me in any other gacha banner, I certainly wouldn't say no. And this piece here by Twitter user Bamboo Ciano, or Ciano, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce that, highlighting another rather interesting bot that has kind of taken the MVP and the meta by storm, and that is the Navi model type Virgo from the days of Medarot Navi. Now, compared to other defender types like Jackal or even Ganking in some cases, Virgo also is a very heavy defender type, but does it in a more unique sense, in the sense that she actually melts her body down into a pile of goo, and she essentially shields her opponents that way. But she is still incredible for this use as well, and also you don't see a lot of art of Virgo for this very reason, because of the rather interesting mechanic, I guess I can call it, for how she transforms back and forth. So wonderful work to the both of you. Definitely give both of these people a follow if you'd like to see more Medarot art in your feeds. But with all this being said, I do believe that covers everything for this week's episode, and as mentioned, it is going to be a very gacha-heavy week, so I do hope you have been stockpiling on those rubies, because you are probably gonna need them. Lots of very good defender, melee-based, or even farmable types that we can make use of this week, so if you are new or just starting out, this is definitely the week for you as well. That being said, if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page or the Metabots Forever community on there. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below, and this will allow you to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any updates for my weekly episodes, contests, fan art, translation updates, or merchandise. That's the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else. You can also reach out to me personally on Twitter at IsagamiKura, so if you have any questions or feedback or comments, or would just love to stop in and say hello, I leave my DMs open for this very reason, so don't be a stranger and feel free to say hi to me. In addition to this, if you are a streamer or YouTuber and would love to collaborate or put something together, I would love to coordinate with you. So reach out to me and with some ideas or some scheduling, and we could try to do some discussion, make something work, and possibly coordinate something. Whether that be having you here with me on my channel or me guest hosting on yours. Give these other fine people a follow as well. Good friends of mine, Pikugatu and Tricker XG250, both also fantastic Medarot artists in the community, so wonderful to see more art of theirs. Tricker in specific actually particularly has a reason to celebrate because they were actually able to finally hit over 1,000 followers on Twitter. So Tricker, if you are watching me, congratulations on your milestone. May this be the beginning to even more art and wonderful experiences with you as a friend. But with all that being said, as I mentioned, that does cover everything for this week's episode. So as always, I do thank you for stopping by, and until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.